Welcome, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising to the month of June 2025. Wow, what a nice glow up you're going to have in your career. Maybe some positive surprises up there in the work career space that kind of delight you. You might notice that your downtime and solitude can bring prosperity, wealth, and peace and joy because Jupiter is going to bring it as he exalts you in Cancer, a new breath of fresh air. I love the momentum Mars is going to bring you around money and spending and earning. So we'll talk about that too. In today's video, we'll do this chronologically. We'll go through the sky bit by bit, talking about all of the things that are probably best for you to pay attention to. I don't cover every single thing that happens. I cover the things that I think are the most important for you to know. So let's get started, shall we? Oh, and before I begin, I am Lori. Did I say my name? Lori Lothian. Western Tropical Zodiac, fixed stars and minor asteroids are my specialty. I am teaching my Sky Reader class yet again. This is my sixth time around. We're doing it this summer, July and August, 6 weeks, summer school. Come join me. If you want to know more about the course curriculum to be your own astrologer, time your best life, look in my description box, click the link to the course curriculum. If you want to sign up, it's not open for enrollment yet, but it will be, and you'll get the early bird discount pricing if you're on the wait list. Also, my 2025 individual signed bundles, 24 hours of video content, PDF guidebooks are now half price. Also, information below. So guys, welcome. What a month. I hope I can keep it together in a timely manner. There's so much to talk about. First of all, I'm going to show you the sky. I do like to actually spin the wheel with you so you can see the astrology, so you can learn it. I'm a teaching astrologer more than anything else. And of course, I am a traditional astrologer, and this is the whole sign house system. So as you look at the Leo ascendant right here, but you can listen for sun and moon. Sun will be as if you're listening to career and purpose matters, as if the sun is in the first house. Moon would be home-based matters, as if the moon is in the first house. The rising sign, of course, is your character in the simulation, your game, your avatar in the matrix, you know what I'm saying? So it will circumstantially describe very much of your life as it unfolds. But you can listen for all three, and over time, you begin to notice which ones are offering you which outcomes. So pay attention. Now, I would say to you, the first thing I want to point out is how the month begins, because we're doing this in a chronological order. This is a great month. 4 planets change signs. It's going to feel like a so different energy than we've had in the last 4 months, 3 months. It's completely different. Now, Venus is going to co-join with Chiron on June the 1st and 2nd, and this is going to help heal that chironic wound about God, faith, hope, maybe a father wound, a wound about your educational, higher educational outcomes, maybe a wound about travel and distant lands, but whatever that wound is, Venus touches on Chiron and tries to bring a little bit of a healing, and I love that energy. So if there's a healing here, I would say it's going to be excellent for you to kind of like put it to rest or put it to bed. The other thing I want to say is I just hang on a sec. I'm going to just stop the share. I want to pause this. Sorry about that. I just had an urgent phone call come in. Okay, so and then we move into the sextile. The Venus is going to perform here like an acrobatic beauty here, and we're looking at this time frame. We're looking at like June 3rd to the 6th as Venus begins to form a sextile with Jupiter. This is nothing but beauty and goodness, even when planets are in detriment. It's still two benefics in a positive connection to each other. I want to tell you that Jupiter is in the house of his joy, and therefore, even in detriment, he can bring you a very positive, like windfall, pennies from heaven, some kind of perk or upgrade in the work situation, some kind of delightful favor from a friend in a high place, or some kind of extra powerful influence in your career or reputation. And as Jupiter is sitting there in Gemini, Venus doubles down from the lucky Lakshmi 9th house and says, let's give you a lucky break here. Now, this lucky break is so many different things: a book publishing deal, a travel opportunity, especially to a foreign place, a human resources breakthrough. Somebody wants you. You're headhunted for the job of a century. It's just good. It's good around money, work, career, luck, and also favors from people in powerful places. So there's just a nice vibe going on for you here. Who wouldn't want that? I love it. And I'll be covering it in more detail in my week ahead astrology for the first week of June with the asteroids, but this is just a nice vibe. Moving into the next storyline is that Mercury will sextile Mars as well. Now, Mercury is the messenger. Mars is the action taker. What are they doing in a sextile? Well, Mercury's negotiations, communications, maybe social events and social engagements in your 11th house, connected to colleagues, coworkers, and career, or connected to social influence and social groups of belonging. Mercury has some information or news, and Mars is going to take action on it. Well, you are going to take action on it because you've been dealing with Mars in your sign for, oh my God, since mid-April and finally leaving on June 17th. So you're powering up with decision-making expertise, power to take action on some opportunity emerging, some information coming to you, and you're going to seize the day, carpe diem, and take an opportunity with a big yes. Mercury in dignity, the sun is there. Looks like a career energy, but it can be many different things. I'll just say opportunity, maybe a bit golden, seizing the day, taking the action and going for it. And we'll feel this energy playing out in June the 4th through to about June the 7th. So jump on it and enjoy that. Opportunity smiles and fortune favors the bold. On June the 7th/8th, Mercury will jump into the arms of Jupiter. Good news. So simple, so beautiful. 29 degrees is anoretic. It's powerful. It's potent. It's intense. It's kind of like a climactic moment, a crescendo of something that Jupiter's been trying to accomplish here for a year in your 11th house. This kind of intensity of 29 can sometimes be turbulent, but we do see still the sextile from Mars. So you're able to capture this opportunity or this moment in time and use it for your best good. I don't know what exactly this opportunity looks like, but you can see that there is a real pinnacle moment here. I think the good news vibe is what I really want to focus on June 7th and 8th. It's almost like a grand finale of something to do with career gains, raises, promotions, influence, social events, friends, favors from friends, capitalizing on efforts you've been putting into place for the last 12 months. So enjoy that. It could be, again, a little bit surprising you because there's an inconjunct to in the career house to Uranus. Like you didn't see it coming, but you're happy that it came and you're going to grab this happy sky. I love the first week of June for you guys. Now on June the 9th, watch what happens to Mercury. He's going to slide over into the sign of Cancer. Mercury will be in the sign of Cancer for quite a while. I just want you to get used to him being there. In fact, he's going to be there until the 26th of June. And when Mercury's in this part of the sky, it's good for your dreams. It's good for your meditations. It's good for your insights. It's good for learning and studying at home alone. It's good for travel to far off places with safety. Distant shores and safe travel are all yours to behold. And when Mercury's in this part of the sky, you might find yourself having luminous insights from your meditations and dreams. He's the dream messenger. He's connected to Neptune in a house that's also known for dreams and a square. Powerful, transformative, pivotal, life-changing dreams may be coming through for you at this time. And it's going to be most active in terms of the dream stories or the meditations in the very beginning. So I would give you kind of I give you a kind of like a June 26th to maybe June 26th to June the 9th. I always said June 9th. June the 9th to June the 20th, maybe. June the 9th to June the 15th to really feel the dreaming element of it all, or the insights from your alone time and contemplations. Yeah, very powerful stuff. There's always a chance when any planet is in the 12th house of the word hospitals and somebody being in a hospital setting. And because of a square to Saturn, that would be like an elder parent, a grandparent, somebody like that with a health challenge. I have to allow for that possibility, which could show up June the 9th to the 26th as well. But also opportunities for foreign land travel and foreign shore trips is emerging during this transit. So there's so many ways that it can play out, some of them better than others, but that's what you've got, right? The sky's a mixed bag under the best of circumstances. When we move forward into the next storyline, we'll notice that Jupiter also follows Mercury. And just as that's happening, watch what happens. What the hell? I'm losing the light. Jupiter will fall into Mercury's arms again, but not quite meet the way they did during the crescendo. So Jupiter and Mercury are still in an orb-based conjunction. So there's good luck energy, good news energy from the 12th house, good news about the travel, the foreign lands, the hospitals, or really powerful dreams, as if God herself was speaking to you in the dream realm. So really get your dream journal handy, your daytime, your messenger, what do you call it? Like your trance state, your meditation journal, whatever this is. It's got that sort of luminous God speaks in to you in certain ways. I heard the voice of God, or I heard the truth in my dreams. And that's a beautiful little window of June the 10th. So enjoy that as well for those spiritual types out there. Now, when we get to the 9th and 10th, Venus is squaring Pluto, which is pretty intense, a transformative love of power, power of love, regeneration energy. Because Venus is now in your career house, and I forgot to mention, she segued into there. Venus slid into the career house already. Let's just go back a bit. There she goes. So Venus is sliding in there on June the 6th, big Forge planet's changing sign. She's going to benefically bless your career for quite a long time. Why don't you enjoy the ride? Your career and reputation is getting a glow up till July the 4th. So June the 6th to July the 4th, lucky breaks, raises, promotions, more visibility. The bosses love you. You can be glamorous and celebrity-like in the career space. You get public attention. Your charm offensive is working. You can get what you want. And there's Uranus, so there'll be surprises, but they'll be positive in the career and reputation zone. Venus is a goddess of love, and possibly that some of that glow up could be that you're dating somebody in the public eye, and everybody's saying, "Wow, look at that new love story going on for the Leo." Like you're visibly showing up like a Brangelina or something. Everyone sees you and your other. The square to Pluto on June, kind of exact on June the 9th and 10th. It could be a very profound transformative moment in an existing love relationship. It could be massive, like catalyzing and regenerating a love story. But if it's about your career, then it's a very powerful opportunity, maybe coming through Pluto, powerful and wealthy people that up-level the success of your career. Almost though, because of the square, it requires a feeling of you need to really go with this is a transformative, life-changing vibration. I'm going to enact a overhaul of power in my career because I'm getting an opportunity from Pluto. And Pluto could be like, again, an influential, wealthy, or powerful person giving you a surprising career opportunity to level up to another height of success in your career. And as this is occurring, you even have that Mars square Uranus forming. We'll get to that later. So again, I see surprises that require urgent actions and decisions during this transit of Venus through your 10th house. But I think a lot of them are positive, but they're rather urgent. You've got to seize it, opportunity as it arises. Jupiter squaring Saturn is happening all month long. So it's not a one-off story. Jupiter will be in a June the 9th through to the end of the month square to Saturn. It gets exact around the 14th, 15th. What it means is there's like a background static sound that you're hearing, a noise in the background about how the month feels. And some of that is going to be like your private life, downtime, your bed pleasures, your enjoyment of travel to foreign distant shores is compromised a bit by Saturn squaring from the 9th house. The 9th house can be legal and court matters that are belaboring you, or there's challenges with somebody in a family situation in a hospital setting. And you're dealing with that, and also maybe compromised in, time and energy going to the hospital story, with an elder. It's just really difficult in the backdrop of June 9th to the end of the month. It could be anybody. Okay, so I don't know, just with Saturn involved, usually somebody of an elder age, right? And Jupiter does rule your house of death. So I'm not going to say someone's going to die. That's not the kind of astrology I want to do, but be aware that where Saturn sits is in the house of fathers, or in Indian astrology. So an elder grandparent, male, or uncle, great uncle. I don't want to scare anyone, but just be knowing that that's one possibility this month. Now, I think I forgot to tell the moons to the last sign, but I can't be perfect, can I? June the 11th, full moon in Sag at 20 degrees. 20 degrees of Sagittarius is a full light in the sky. What is Sag? It's your house of romantic love. You might have planted a seed last November in a new moon about changes you want to make around sex, romance, love, true love, falling in love, maybe even changes around fertility and your children, art and creative projects, and entrepreneurial businesses. Those are all the 5th house narratives. Now, a full moon is a big spotlight. It's like revealing, illuminating, showing you things, but also just taking up a lot of space. There's a spotlight in romantic love, and it's full and it's bright. And it looks like for some Leos, it could be a new romance is going to be blossoming here. Look for the full light to reveal what's real and true about any new romantic engagement. I do like that the full moon is in a broad trine to Neptune, indicating some kind of, real twin soul, soulmatey, flowy energy, and maybe Saturn with an older person, younger person, 6-7 years, or something that go the distance and be very solid, and even heal some of your romantic chironic wounds from failed relationships in the past. And Pluto's transformatively, powerfully bringing you different kinds of partners right now, right? Partners that are going to get you in touch with the love of power, but the power of love. So let's see how it goes. But that full moon for singletons can be the blossoming of a new romance in a marriage already, a blossoming of the romantic element of the existing love story. The full moon that will be at 20 degrees of Sagittarius does, as I say, trine Chiron, helping to heal romantic wounds, love wounds, sexual wounds, wounds about your creativity, wounds about your entrepreneurial businesses, all of those things. And in fact, not only does it trine Chiron, but this lunation trines Mars in your sign. It creates what we call a grand fire trine. And a grand fire trine is like fire in the sky, initiative, daring, bold, leaping energy and love. And you're making the decisions to go for it, or to take a chance on love, or to take a chance on romance, or take a chance on your creativity, or take a chance on entrepreneurial businesses, or take a chance on going off to university, college, or a new school, or learning something. All these stories are in your chart. Moving into a more meaningful life, take a chance, take a chance. And this moon will not just take place on June the 11th. It will unfold over the course of 2 weeks to show you the real deal, and up to 6 months to fulfill itself like a flower blossoming. Now, there's a difficult sky coming just before it happens. Venus and Mercury have a kind of a nice, sweet sort of spot together. Venus, career. Mercury, news. Mercury, backroom deals and negotiations behind the scenes, like maybe, there's a job opening in your company, and you're negotiating with it behind the scenes before it even goes public. So behind the scenes, background deals, negotiations, career success, opportunity, news, looks good on you. Things you're doing home alone, giving you more celebrity, more success, breaking through, more publicity, more promotional energy in your career, coming through the sky. You can see that this is in play June 9th, 10th, and 11th. And then we move into the more challenging June 12th to the 16th for the world and for each of us in our own way. Mars is squaring Uranus. Uranus is always about the thing we don't see coming. So that's why I hate trying to talk about it. It's always a surprise. But you'll see that Mars is building that square up, and you'll feel it beginning to build, maybe June 11th, 12th, and then moving into action through to the 16th. This can look like some kind of crisis moment for you around your career, around your reputation, where you need to make a decision. You need to take an action. You have to do it now. It's urgent, and it's kind of taking you a little bit by surprise. It doesn't always have to be negative. Venus is watching out over the Uranian story, trying to bonify it. So it could be, oh my God, it's a little bit of a do or die situation. Chironic healing going on with Mars Chiron to heal a chironic wound connected to deep meaning and purpose in your career, for example. So it could be just an urgent need to make a decision on a career matter that kind of was unexpected. And for you, breakthrough, break free, or even just exciting. Sometimes Uranus is exciting energy or exhilarating energy. So let me know what happens in that sort of exciting career momentum energy. Uranus rules the internet. Venus gives you celebrity and public appeal, maybe something you're doing in your internet type of career, especially given Venus rules your third house of the social media landscape, is going to suddenly go viral and give you an urgent need to take action on your success story. Next, we're going to talk about Jupiter square Neptune. It's the same backdrop noise as Jupiter square Saturn, but it really picks up steam on June the 15th. Well, Jupiter is the truth and Neptune is the fog. Neptune is the illusion and delusion, and Jupiter is the clarity of what's true. So it's a clarity of truth moment as Jupiter is more powerful here, squaring Neptune and saying, let's get real. Saturn agrees. It's a clarity moment regarding matters to do with courts, legal matters, higher educational storylines, things to do with long distance foreign people, places, and travel, things to do with spiritual teachers and gurus. If you had a guru or a spiritual teacher, I'll tell you, Jupiter squaring Saturn, Neptune means a falling out, a disillusionment, a clarity about the frailty of your teacher. This can equally be your guide, your mentor, your coach, somebody advising you, and you have a kind of like clear eyeball on it. And that again is around June the 15th, give or take a day or two on either side. You're going to feel it for the rest of the month. It's such a slow moving transit, but it begins to be obvious to you June 15th, and it continues on through the rest of the month. On June 19th to the 21st, Mars is going to sextile Jupiter. Mars is sextiling Jupiter. What does it mean? It means good news. Good action. Mars and Jupiter. Okay, so lucky action, fortunate action. Fortune favors the bold who take the action. Why does this happen? Because Mars is the fourth planet to change signs. On the 17th, he will lose his affinity for Leo, where he's been traveling since mid-April, giving you bold, declarative power and decision-making. I know a girl who broke up with a boyfriend that had been on and off, and made the final decision during the transit of Mars through Leo. So this is my daughter's friend. And so I just see how powerful that has been for you to be very clear and decisive. Now he leaves and he moves into your money house. Now, when Mars is here for 6 weeks and it starts out on the 17th of June, he begins that money house experimentation by ending up in a very, very positive, lucky vibration with Jupiter exalted. It's almost like your money is going to go to a new level of success because you're harnessing Jupiter. Projects you're doing behind the scenes, distant revenue from distant shores, far off lands, foreign entities, or digital portals income and revenue in the online world. That money can be very successful for you for the 6 weeks that follow this ingress on the 17th of June. But it has a lot more luck vibe on the 19th to the 21st. Okay, so keep that in mind. When Mars cuts through the second house for 6 weeks, you might cut away food styles, change your dietary habits, do a fast, eliminate foods that aren't good for you. You might do some surgical procedures on your face. Mars is a cutting scalpel type guy. And you might also, while Mars is moving through your second house, spend a bit more money. Sometimes we get very self-started and entrepreneurial here. That's one of the benefits. Sometimes we end up having a lot of spending, but because he rules your fourth house, the spending is likely for things to do with your home or a car or a sofa or an extension to your home or something needed in the home. Don't be afraid of his spending. He does start off with that Jupiter sextile. You have the abundance to spend the money you need for the things you need to spend it on. On June the 21st, the sun will square Saturn. Now, this is starting off because the sun is also changing signs, moving into its solstice on the 20th. Once the sun is moved in the 2021 timeframe into the sign of Cancer, then you're going to notice that we get a square to Saturn, and we also get a conjunction to Jupiter. This means from about the 21st to the 25th, a couple of things are happening. There's a feeling of auspicious fortune and goodness financially, or just a lucky energy in your 12th house. With Mercury here, it involves communications or news. But 12th house is, again, hospital. So it could be good news. Someone's going to get out of the hospital. 12th house is good news. Your dreams are coming true that you had at night. Good news and good vibes and a powerful, activation of gurus, teaching, learning, projects you do at home, and positive developments. But the square to Saturn is a little bit dicey. And that could indicate, Saturn is caution, and Sun Jupiter is like, the hills are alive with the sound of music, highly optimistic, super entitled energy. And yet the Saturn square, to the sun is like, is there a hardship with a father figure? Is there a difficulty with a male father figure in your life that you're having to contend with, or an authority figure? And is there a little bit of a struggle of reserve and caution versus exuberance and hope going on for you then? The sun, at the same time it's ingressed into the sign of Cancer, begins to sextile Mars, just like Jupiter did. This is, again, taking off from the same storylines, but I'd say the good vibe of the sun conjunct Jupiter in a sextile to Mars is financial. There's something good happening on the money front. And the only other good thing about it is you could quit an addiction with ease and grace and almost like, a miracle healing of some addictions that you may be dealing with, and that could make a huge shift all at once. You may also have the opportunity to spend some money on a foreign land shore trip, a far off getaway. And if that happens with Venus up in the top of the sky, it could be with a romantic partner. On June the 25th, we have a moon. And this is going to be new, and it's in Cancer. Oh, I'm so sorry, Virgos. I forgot the moon for you guys. But anyway, we'll be doing all signs anyway every month. Can't remember everything. The moon is going to be very beautifully placed at 4 degrees of Cancer with Jupiter in attendance and Mercury on the side. What does it mean? Well, it's kind of a fresh start and a new beginning for the next 2 weeks after the moon. June 25th, add 2 weeks, and fulfilling itself over 6 months to fresh start new seeds planted in the 12th house. Now, hey, some of you could move your home, moon is a home, to another country or a far off distant shore from where you currently live. Some of you could also have a fresh start because you're going to do creative backroom deals, and you're going to do projects home alone, and you're going to study alone at home. And, especially with, Saturn in your 9th house, some of you are going to be educated, do some long-term learning. And there's a new beginning as you begin to study. The energy is financially prosperous if you make money from foreign companies, foreign marketplaces, foreign customers, or online digital income. This is a blessing of prosperity. Mercury says because you're marketing, selling, buying, and communicating, and that will really up-level you. At the very least, this could indicate travel, that you want to do quite a lot of distant travel over the next 6 months, and that will be very favorable and very fortunate for you. So there you go. Don't see a downside. And the sextile from this lunation to Mars means it profits you, and you can make some significant financial gain over the 6 months that follow in this kind of 12th house money. Again, this is not for a lot of people. A lot of people don't make money from foreign companies, foreign entities, but if you do, fine. The 12th house can be expenses, but Jupiter is benefic. But if there is an increase of your expenses, which could happen on this kind of a moon, it all works out in the wash. Your expenditures, especially Mars in the second, will be favorable. If you wanted to start an entrepreneurial business, Jupiter says yes. Get your pegs in place and figure out your plan. This could open up new entrepreneurial self-starter energies. And over the next 2 weeks after and 6 months after, you'll see why this could be very successful. On June the 26th, Mercury gives us a shocking, surprising, positive news story. That's because he sextiles Uranus, and when those two are in a sextile, it means favorable and positive surprises connected to your career. Ultimately, Venus will also add to that surprise element more directly in the first 4 days of July. So you've got to kind of I didn't see it, but whoa, thank you, career, reputation moment. If you want to look at that Venus Uranus, it's celebrity, it's fame, it's sudden viral hits, or some kind of stature of sudden increase of visibility as somebody that everybody likes, who's very appealing, who's got the diva in her, I don't care if you're a man, your celebrity status goes up. Or your reputation has a surprising glow up in the sky. And the Mercury part is connected to things that were hidden from view. So possibly, for example, you had a hidden romance and now you announce it to the world, everybody claps. Or maybe you were working on some project behind the scenes and in your downtime, and boom, it takes off and you get a big measure of success unexpectedly from it. Again, it's a nice, happy surprise. And I think you're not going to mind it at all. If somebody has been in a hospital setting, there could be a positive outcome that surprises you, the doctors, and everybody else, for example. It won't be you in the hospital, somebody else if someone is, and that would be, yay, oh my God, it all worked out. Again, this is a possibility on the third week of June, June 26th. And on June the 27th or so, we'll watch that Mercury slides into Leo. Well, he will be here till September 2nd. June 27th to September 2nd, because of a retrogradation, those 2 months look like a huge amount of thinking, a huge amount of ideating, a huge amount of communicating going on for Leos. Now, when Mercury comes through this sign for you in your sign, sun, moon, or rising, a lot of it, like a sun, it's about your career, moon, it's about your home, communicating the home, negotiating, communicating, marketing, selling, sun, career, or rising sign, you got a lot going on mentally. Your ideas, your thinking, your planning, your mind is really busy for your rising signs. Because Mercury retrogrades, ideas from the past will return to you in July. So there's a whole bunch of stuff I can't cover here. Just know that this is going to remind you a bit of 2017 when we had an elemental fire year for Mercury as well. So we'll talk about that in more depth later, but it's like 2017-18 all over again. So I'll be doing a whole video on that. I do want to say that when Mercury's in your sign and you use him wisely, the ability for you to communicate is exceptional. And you may find yourself succeeding by virtue of your negotiating, communicating, and deal-making powers. As he enters, he goes into an opposition to Pluto, and it would be difficult, like a very hard conversation with a colleague, a business partner, or a significant relationship partner, and a very intense conversation, a very transformative conversation happening around the 27th of the month to the end of the month. But at the same time, Saturn tries to stabilize it. And therefore, I don't mind this story at all. Saturn says we're going to have the difficult, kind of deep and transformative conversation with that significant somebody else so that we can stabilize something. And Saturn would stabilize it because it's meaningful to you, the meaningful job contract, the meaningful relationship. Okay. So it is maybe a conversational window of challenge, but it works out in the end. And all said and done, I like it for you. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe and come join me at Sky Reader Summer School. I'm looking forward to teaching it for the 6th time. I change the course curriculum, add new content every time I teach it. So it's never the same twice, but it's always the same template where you're going to learn to be your own astrologer and time your best life. If you've never seen a planet, you don't even know what a horoscope wheel is, it might be too much for you. You're going to come into this class with a basic understanding of planets and a gist of signs and houses, right? I teach that in the class, but I've had people start up and just quit in the first week because they're like, I'm over my head. And I do take it pretty slow. Here are the planets. Here's what they mean. Here are the houses. Here's what they mean. But still, if you think you're going to be overwhelmed because, you've never even looked at an astrology wheel before, then why are you signing up? All right. Ciao, ciao.